Joining me today from Tel Aviv is Yotam Polizer. Yotam is the Chief Executive Officer of IsraAid, one of Israel's leading humanitarian aid agencies. Yotam, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to join us during this historic time, and it's so great to see you again. For those unfamiliar with IsraAid, can you tell us a little bit about the organization?
Sure. So IsraAid is a non-governmental, non-political agency. We were established in 2001, and our goal is to take Israeli expertise in the field of medical support, water and sanitation, trauma, livelihood, education, and bring it to the world's most vulnerable communities. So far, we responded to 52 disasters in different countries. And currently, as we speak, we have teams on the ground in 15 countries, including in the US. The goal is not just to give life-saving support, but to also provide long-term recovery.
So you mentioned you're doing work in the United States. What are you doing currently in the US?
So in the US, as this global pandemic develops, we developed a special trauma counseling tool. We call it 12 ways to reduce stress. Not enough has been discussed about the mental health situation and the stress and the trauma that relates to COVID-19. And unfortunately, in Israel, because of our traumas from the ongoing conflict and the Holocaust, and you name it, we really developed tools to help individuals and communities build resilience. And that's what we're doing right now all over the US. And we're really expanding and reaching thousands of people.
So you had mentioned early on that your global presence, I think you said 51 countries. Can we expand the conversation a little bit? Can you tell us about what you're doing globally?
Sure. So the biggest challenge now is we can't send teams. But the good news is that we had teams on the ground in many of these places, teams of both Israelis, Americans, and many local staff, including some of the refugees who are part of our staff members. So we have Syrian, Iranian, and Iraqi actually working for IsraAid and wearing, these T-shirts with the Star of David that I'm wearing here.
I've heard you use the term post-traumatic growth. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, post-traumatic growth is sort of, I think, the motto or the flip side of PTSD. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder, which basically means the sickness that comes out of trauma and could lead to significant mental health issues. Post-traumatic growth is the flip side, is how a terrible trauma and a tragedy, such as the coronavirus, or such as the Syrian refugee crisis, or the Hurricane Puerto Rico, could actually turn into an opportunity for growth and resilience. And I have many stories to share personally. One story to share is how when we pulled Syrian refugees out of the water in Greece, one of them told me, "My worst enemy became my biggest supporter." So that's one example for post-traumatic growth. But another example would be how right now in the US, through this terrible crisis and tragedy that I know you're all experiencing, including in Chicago, it's also an opportunity for growth and to build this incredible partnership between the Israel and the US and strengthen the connection between our countries, between our people, which is, I know AIPAC has been the leader of that, and we're very proud to partner with AIPAC on that mission, and in a way use this terrible, terrible tragedy as an opportunity for growth.